Hi everyone! This week I wanted to talk about different ways that we can support each other even during this difficult time. I know it can be hard not being able to see friends or certain family members, but it's important to take a look around at what we do have. At school, we talk a lot about kindness and what that looks like in our lives. But today I want to talk to you about how we can continue to spread kindness even when we're stuck at home. The book I'm going to be reading today is How Full is Your Bucket, with permission from Scholastic, so thank you very much to them for allowing me to read this and post it. And just like in our classrooms, we want to make sure that we're filling each other's buckets instead of dipping into them. So in order to do this at home, it could just be sharing kind words, it could be, doing different projects together. In my household, we have different mugs set up with little messages to each other. So if we're having a hard time or we just need some extra encouragement, we can go to our mug and we can pull out a little note from the other person. And it's a nice little encouraging, when you're just having a difficult time. You can do it different ways. You can do it in mugs. You can do it in cups. You can also get a plastic bag for every person in your family, and you can write little messages to them, draw them pictures, anything that you might, do to cheer them up. So I encourage you guys to try this out in your own households and let me know how it goes. Enjoy the book. Felix was putting one of the last blocks on his tower when his sister came in. "I want to build with you," she said. Felix scowled. "Go away. You're too little." "I'm big." "Stay back. You'll knock it over." "I can be very careful." "Go play with your baby toys, Anna." Thwack! "Grandpa!" Grandpa shook his head. "Felix, you just dipped from your sister's bucket. Like everyone else, Anna has an invisible bucket. When it's empty, she feels bad. But when it's full, she feels great. Didn't you ever notice your own bucket?" Invisible bucket? Sometimes Felix couldn't quite tell when his grandfather was joking. But the next morning, when Felix woke up, there was a small, gray bucket floating above his head. Felix came down to have breakfast. His mom was in a hurry. "I've got a meeting this morning, and it's almost time to go." "Anna, sit still." Felix slipped, and cocoa wheat scattered across the floor. "Felix!" yelled his mother. "You should have used a stool to reach that." Felix could feel his bucket tip, and big invisible drips spill out. Drip, drip. "Ha ha!" Anna laughed as she crunched the cereal with her shoe. Drip. "Get a broom and clean that up before you miss the bus," scolded Mom. With the school bus honking, Felix quickly swept up the cocoa wheats and grabbed the last blueberry muffin. But before he could even take one bite, Buster jumped up and grabbed the muffin from his hand. Drip. "Hey, look at Felix's new backpack. My baby brother has one just like it." Drip. "Felix." Drip. "Watch out, shrimp." Drip. It was still morning, and Felix's bucket felt almost empty. As he watched his classmates walk into the room, he secretly hoped they would trip and fall. That's what it feels like when you have an empty bucket. Felix slumped into his seat and waited for something else bad to happen. Mrs. Bumblenickel walked slowly up to his desk and handed him a paper. He could hardly bear to look. "Felix, you wrote a wonderful story. Would you please share it with the class?" Felix grinned and felt a big drop land right in his bucket. Drop! The class grew quiet. They laughed at all the right places and oohed at all the scary parts. When Felix finally read, The end. Everyone clapped, even Emily, who sat next to him and didn't usually like dinosaurs. Felix felt a whole shower of drops land in his bucket. Maybe the day wouldn't be so bad after all. Aren't you, Mom? Drop. Team captains today are Veronica and Felix. Drop. Nice cow. It's a dog. Well, nice colors there, Felix. Cool laser ant backpack, Felix. By afternoon, Felix's bucket was nearly full. At recess, when he looked around, Felix suddenly realized that his grandpa was right. Everyone else had a bucket too. Let me help you. Drop, drop. Here's your baseball. Catch. Thanks, dude. Drop, drop. Hi, I'm Felix. First day? Yes, I'm Amir. Drop, drop. The strange thing was that for every drop he helped put in someone else's bucket, he felt another drop in his own bucket. When Felix burst in the door after school, he shouted, "You were right, Grandpa! I do have a bucket, and I understand how it works!" Then he saw Anna's torn doll. "Bad dog," he almost scolded. But then he thought, dogs might have invisible buckets too. "Your doll will be okay, Anna," said Felix. "Mom will fix her. Until then, do you want to help me build the tallest building in the world with my blocks?" And so they did.